Hello and welcome to my channel. I really felt guided towards sharing a message that really is both for everybody that is aligned with this message and also for myself, because I have been stuck, or so I felt. And I am here today doing this video for you guys because I do know that I am not the only one going through this spiritual awakening, being on the journey of ascension, of awakening, healing, evolving, and stepping into my true power. And so I want to help. So today I have finally, and I say this, but really stepped out of my own way. So I have been stuck, or so I felt, and I know that there are others that feel the same way. I am so far in my journey as of right now where I feel that I have healed such a big part of my shadow self, my ego, that it's time for the next phase. That's kind of the guidance that I receive from my spirit guides, from God, so the source. And I know that it's time to follow. However, when it comes to soul purpose, I didn't really know. I felt very stuck. I didn't really know how to start, where to go. I only knew that in my journey, once I ascended to a certain level of consciousness, to a certain vibration, if you will, that I wanted to exit the matrix. I wanted to exit the kind of rat race, the constant push to achieve anything, the constant hassle, the constant chasing of success, admiration from others, which is a silly thing, by the way, and money, and just really it's never-ending chase. And I knew quite soon after I have started this journey that my wish was to really exit this mentality and pretty much exit the 3D world in a way where I rise above it. Of course, I'm still human, just as all of you guys. It's not really about living in like a fantasy land in your head. It's really truly just embodying who you are, because the way you are, no matter where you are on your own journey, whether you feel that you have healed fully, maybe you're just starting, maybe you're somewhere in the middle, or even if you don't know really where you are, but you know that your heart is really guiding you to change. And so it is time to change. It's time for a change. And for me, because I felt for actually quite a few months now, as I'm recording this, it's the beginning of 2025. Happy New Year to everybody that is listening right now. However, it is a timeless message, and my intention for this message is to be aligned with every single beautiful soul that at any point in time will need to hear it. And I hope that by sharing part of my journey and my thoughts, I can help you guys to maybe get a different perspective, maybe get a push, maybe in some way it's going to help you. and that is exactly what I wish for you. So I have felt the need within me. I really felt guided to change my 3D circumstances. I have, let's say, nothing against the day job that I have right now, but I have felt for a while now, since I have been awakened, that it has lost its color and it's no longer where I kind of want to be. And according to my spirit guides, it's also not the place where I'm no longer aligned with that place. I'm meant to move forward. And so for quite a bit of time, I could not, for the love of God and for the love of all that is beautiful and holy, if you will, kind of realize, if you will, there was like a blockage, or so I thought, about what my soul purpose is. I have never, besides maybe kind of like a big picture thinking, felt guided to do something specifically. All I knew was that I would appreciate being myself on this journey. I appreciated, and I still do, any kind of guidance I receive, and I receive it from other beautiful light beings as well. And a lot of times the things that I go through, and you guys too, are things that nobody can really explain these things to us, because most of it is of course happening internally. Of course, there are external circumstances that do help us to kind of get the breakthroughs, to help us learn the lessons, to help us unlearn our patterns, and so on. But I know that there are moments still really on my journey where I would want somebody to kind of tell me like, oh, the moment you're in right now, this is what's happening, and kind of this is the whole point, so try maybe thinking about this, or try focusing on that specifically. And one of the reasons I'm doing this right now is to help whoever needs it, who perhaps is at that point in time where they kind of feel like, how do I go about this? And so here I am. Also, all I knew was that I wanted to help people. I wanted to both shed light on certain things, and maybe help people gain a different perspective on their current circumstances, help them see things for the divine truth that those situations really are, and not really the 3D illusions, because we humans tend to get really caught up in the 3D circumstances, and it's not easy for when you're in the midst of it to kind of take a step back and see what is the situation really trying to teach you. And so for me, was the only thing I knew when it came to my soul purpose was exactly that. So I want to help people in any way I can. Of course, we kind of all do, because we do share our experiences, and I know that by sharing my own experience I can help others. And so I have been meditating in my own way and asking God, the source, and my spirit guides to please help me kind of hone in on what it is exactly that my soul purpose is. Because for me personally, I have such a hard time meditating in like the classical standard way, which is being in silence, trying like going in. I have not learned that yet, and I don't know if maybe this is just not for me, or I'm not there yet. However, I have not really known anything, and the guidance that I have been receiving up to a certain point was really like, oh, you should do what brings you joy, of course, and that's what we always should do, no matter what it is about, whether it has to do with soul purpose or I don't know, your family life, your love life, your career, anything really. However, the scope for me is so big, like the area is so big that, like, what do I do with it? I knew that I wanted to help people. I knew I wanted to coach in some way. I wanted to share my knowledge, my downloads, my guidance about the journey, about like kind of what it is all about here on earth. But I didn't know in what way. I felt very lost. And because I do want to break free from the 3D world, so no longer having like a typical day job, no longer being, if you will, bound to the standard 3D circumstances that we humans find ourselves in. One of the criteria that I have put on my soul purpose was like, okay, I want to do something, but I want to make sure that I want to support myself to it. And already there, I have put such a big block for myself. I pretty much just self-sabotaged, because no matter how hard I tried really to find my way and find my solution, because I had a certain criteria, I filtered everything through those things, so through my criteria. And what I wanted, and what I still want, of course, what I'm manifesting and working towards, is a life where I go with the flow of the universe, of my own guidance, of my higher self, and where I don't really fight it, and also where I'm completely free to do it, as in there is no day job that I have to make it to and be at during certain times during the day, where there are no let's say activities or places or situations that I have put myself in that I need to be present at, that stops me from really doing what brings me joy and what gives me fulfillment, which is what I'm doing right now. And so I want to break free from it. I want to dictate my own days, how it's going to look like. I don't want to be bound by somebody else's schedule. I do not want to work for anybody else, but for me and my own life and for my loved ones. And every single time that I try to kind of think like, okay, what can I do with my talents, with the beautiful divine gifts that I have been given when I came here to Earth, was really filtered through like, okay, I want to be able to dictate my own schedule, and I want to decide how my days, how my work is going to look like, and all of these things. And I would just run into a very big wall, and I just could not scale it. And so I asked my spirit guides and God to really show me the solution. So I asked and asked and asked, and here is the whole point of me making this video and sharing this with you. No matter the fact that I am still on the journey just never ends. For as long as you're on Earth, you never stop learning, you never stop ascending, you never stop expanding really, and embodying more and more of your own power and your own divinity. Of course, I did get sweep into my humanity, and by that I mean both the everyday life, the karmic situations that I have to live through, so the karmic situations that have to play out because of my karma, and all the obligations that I have in my life, really, during the days, what I have to do, where I have to be. And I will say that guidance has been given to me. The answer that I needed to hear, really, so my human self needed to hear, has been given to me. But because of whatever reason that I made up in my mind at that point in time when I have received it, I have put it, if you will, to like, I will take a look at this later pile, and then I kind of forgot about it. And it's not that I forgot about it because it was no longer something important. It was just, you know, maybe at that point in time, that day precisely, there was something else that took my attention, or that I made more important than the guidance that I have received. And me thinking like, oh, you know, I will take a look at that later. I will take a look at that. Maybe I have a day off in 2 days, and then I will take a look at that then. But the only thing that I was doing was pretty much just making up reasons, and maybe that's not the right way to say it, but there were things that were happening that I valued more than this guidance, and not because I was aware of it, but because I was unaware of it. So whatever was happening in my day to day, there were things that absolutely overwhelmed me, because as you guys know, on this journey for the divine feminines and the divine masculines, when the deep healing happens, when the purge happens, when there's like, there comes a moment where you're supposed to work through maybe your core wounds, or maybe one of those things that is really complicated and there's a lot of layers to it. What's happening is it kind of takes precedence over everything else. At least this is how it is for me. And I have prioritized this journey over everything else that isn't a necessity for my human self to really survive on Earth, if you will. But the time kept on ticking. Time doesn't exist, but for our human selves, time kept on ticking. And here I am today, weeks, if not months later, I'm not even kidding. I, from nowhere, kind of look through that little pile of mine where I have like, oh, I was supposed to take a look at those things later. I find the message and I feel prompt to listen to it. And so I did. I listened to what I was supposed to be listening to. I looked through everything and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And I get the answer that I needed in order for my human self to get the breakthrough, really to kind of understand and to really overcome the block within me that I felt, that what I believed stopped me really from, let's say, acting or finding my life purpose, my soul's purpose. And the next thing that hit me was just, you silly girl, how could you let it go so long until you actually took a look at it? And I really felt guided to just record this message. I want to tell others that need to hear it, that whatever you're praying for, however the praying looks like for you, whether it's meditating, journaling, actually praying, speaking to God, speaking to your guides, however it looks for you, you have to understand and really remember and keep in mind at all times, really, that every single time that you ask for guidance, guidance is really given to you. And all you have to do really is listen for it. Keep your eyes peeled. You of course know within yourself in what way is the way that you receive your guidance. Whatever it is for you, it's the right way. And through that channel, whatever it is for you, you will receive the answer. You will receive the guidance, of course, when the time is right. Once the divine order, as I call it, so divine timing for some people. So once certain things are happening, once you are aligned with receiving that guidance, the guidance will be given to you. So don't be like me. Do not put it aside thinking that other things are important, because for all these weeks, if not months, I'm pretty sure it's been months really, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe not. I don't really remember. I cannot answer that question right now. But I have been kind of torturing myself, thinking like, what it is that I'm doing wrong here. I do the things that I, let's say, usually do when it comes to my journey, when it comes to learning, when it comes to healing, and there's just like this big wall, and I cannot get past it. I cannot see, like, what is it? I cannot see the solution. What am I supposed to do? Just don't do it, because here I am today kind of shaking my head at myself and thinking, you silly girl, you should have just, when you have received the message, was the time that you could have already had that breakthrough, instead of going weeks kind of torturing yourself with like, why am I not getting the answer? What am I doing wrong? And this is really, really important. So it's wise to follow the guidance. Of course, if you want to, you must do nothing. You should just do whatever you're guided to. But please take my experience as a lesson to you. Do not put it aside. I mean, if you feel that you came to a point where, let's say, a fork in the road, where you really want to, the desire in your heart is to move forward, to change your 3D circumstances, you want for things to move forward, because perhaps your human perspective, from your human perspective, you kind of see that you're stuck, or you think that you're stuck. Really listen to your own guidance, because every single human, really, every single being, every single soul, we are so loved by the source, by the universe, by God, whatever you want to call it, really. And we are always being given help. It's just that sometimes we kind of make the 3D circumstances so important that they kind of overshadow everything else. And really, when you think about it from like a different side to it, that the 3D circumstances is just an illusion. It's just a projection of what you are and who you are and what you're currently dealing with on the inside. So take my advice here and really look within, look to the channels where you usually get your guidance, if you are feeling that you want the guidance. And I wish you the clarity that you need. I wish you the breakthrough that you need, and I wish you that all of your heart's desires come true, that are for your highest good. Take care, and thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for allowing me to channel a message for you guys. And I will speak to you in another video. Bye.